Welcome to the Creative Verse Pod by Design, the only podcast that provides weekly top-level tips for creatives on how to be better in career and business. Join our host, Oluwafemi and other creative minds as they share from their wealth of experience in this ever-changing space.
Communication is an essential skill to possess as a graphic designer, apart from the fact that you need to understand and possess your special skill as a graphic designer. And you know what I mean by special skill. If you do not know what I mean by special skill, you should check the last podcast, the last episode. So this episode is an extension of the Skill and Skills episode released about 2 episodes away. So you should check that out to understand what I mean by special skills. So ultimately, as creatives and graphic designers, not only do we need to communicate ideas through designs and graphics and all that, we also need to communicate ideas with our colleagues, our clients, and of course, our leaders and subordinates. All right, in this episode, I will be talking about another aspect of skill and skills, which I will term traits. What are the traits that you need to possess as a graphic designer? And I will majorly be talking about 10 traits. We have more than 10, but I'll be handpicking about 10 traits which you as a creative or a graphic designer need to possess. So definitely at the end of this episode, you would know and learn the traits you need to possess as a creative, as a graphic designer. But before I begin to list these traits and explain them, you always know what I love to do. What exactly are traits? So I love to simply define traits as a distinguishing quality of a person or a group of people. Trait distinguishes the quality of someone's characteristics or characteristics of a group of people. So not to waste any time, let's dive into these 10 essential traits of a very successful graphic designer, or I'll rather say of a successful creative. Like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of this episode, communication is super important for a graphic designer. So a graphic designer should be able to communicate a client's story or idea. Communication goes a long way. For example, it is very important to maintain professional, clear, and concise communication skills, especially in tricky areas like pricing and talking money. Well, we're going to release another episode where we talk about money, pricing, and how to earn money as a creative. So it is essential to know that communication is very important in all areas of life, especially when it comes to money making, money earning, talking about pricing, telling people about your brand, and of course, even in relationships. Second is passion and drive. You don't end up in a creative industry unless you love what you do. So you need to have passion for whatever it is you're doing, because there's going to be a lot of challenge, a lot of long hours of work, and you need to keep pushing ahead of the roadblock. So it is very important as a creative to have passion and drive. So number 3 is problem solving and responsibility. As a good creative, it is very, very important, again, to have a problem solving skill or a problem solving side, to be very responsible. You have to think logistically and critically to make things work, to make things happen. You need to produce something brilliant at every point in time where you put your pen to paper to solve a problem. So you must possess problem solving skills. Number 4 is a very big one, and it's curiosity. How curious are you? You need to dig beyond what you see. You need to look beyond the surface of things you see and you feel. You need to learn how to explore both the minute details and the depth of the big pictures in front of you. You need to be curious to learn new things. Curiosity never kills the cat of a creative person. I would rather say curiosity only kills a cat. And you are a creative. You are not a cat. So be curious in your field of passion. So the 5th thing is ability to take criticism. Well, this is possibly the toughest thing for any creative, but it is very important as a designer that you have to be good at taking decisions. You have to be good at taking corrections and learn to apply those corrections in your work going forward. Getting better or becoming the best is an evolving process. And it often requires a lot of criticisms, a lot of backs and forth, a lot of critics at the end. It produces a very good result. So you should learn how to take criticisms. Number 6 is openness or open-mindedness. As a creative, you need to be open-minded. You need to share a piece of yourself in your work. You need to be able to put out yourself and not be afraid to expose yourself in your work or to expose a part of your emotions or your feelings in whatever it is you do as a creative. The seventh point is you need to be patient. A creative should always be patient, since to reach the end of a project can be rather slow, but the good answers don't always come quick. It takes patience to learn to develop yourself and to develop an idea and to get to a desired result. I would rather say a patient creative gets a very good work done, or I would say a very good result at the end of any project. Seventh point is self-feedback or self-review. And it is very, very important to always review yourself. Sometimes you might be in self-doubt, but you need to review yourself to see if your design is good enough for standards or it's good enough to achieve the results you want to achieve. It's healthy to always question and challenge yourself. Strive to be better at every point in time. Ninth point is evolution, which is quite similar to curiosity. See, nobody is an island of knowledge. Nobody knows it all. It is very important to keep growing and seek new inspiration as you go in your design journey or in your career journey or your creative journey. Share ideas with a wider range of community people, learn new trends, and never stop learning so you would evolve in the right direction. Meet people and follow people that inspire you. Of course, the 10th point that is important for any creative too is reliability. Or I would say reliability and trust. Your client wants to trust you. They want to rely on you, on your abilities, on your skill, on the things that you claim you possess. They want to believe that you are able to solve their problems. They want to see that you develop consistency and prove trustworthiness. And it's a long road to build relationship. And at the end of the day, in building that relationship, we still go back to the first point of communication. But you need to show your clients and people around you that you're reliable. You also need to show yourself that you are quite reliable when it comes to what you claim that you have passion for. What skill are you working on? What trait are you working on to becoming a better creative by the day? Pick out of these 10 traits, one after the other. Measure your growth rate. Review yourself from time to time to see how you've improved over time. Let me just add one more, and it's paying attention to details. As a creative, you need to learn how to pay attention to details. So off the bat, that is quite straightforward to understand. Paying attention to details is a very, very important trait to possess as a creative. Thank you for tuning in to this beautiful episode again. See you in the next episode, and bye for now.
We appreciate you joining us for this episode. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Also visit femulacarrot.design for more info and access to resources that will help you reach your desired goals in career and business. That's femulacarrot.design. Until next time, stay creative.